going to be Inside Out. The Inside Out playset is available as a single thing. So, Travis, I know you haven't got it, but I know you've played a few levels at the D23, etc.
At the different demos, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually very looking forward to getting this playset finally. This is out of the 3 they initially announced, this is the one that got my gaming geek, because this is the type of game that I grew up loving, and I will play a 2D, or in this case a 2D/2.5D is what they called it, scroller game. I am all for it. I played the one level I played extensively was the level where you had to do part of the level upside down through this this weird gravitational field that happens. So it was like a split screen, so you'd have to go upside down to advance, and it took a bit to figure out the mechanism because it's basically upside down. So you had to remember to jump up when you wanted to jump down. Once you got it, it was great, but it is really, I'm looking forward to this, getting this playset soon. So.
Okay, Abe, what was your thoughts on Inside Out?
I'm enjoying it. I love the detail that they put in, especially the 3D part. I love the animation, like the way they have certain obstacles. Like at one point, I was jumping on flip-flops, and then I was almost getting hit by 8 balls, and then there's these like wind-up bowls that were attacking. I mean, it's pretty interesting. Then I got to the side scroller, the platformer, and it was cool. I mean, I enjoy it. The only issue that I'm having, and that I guess I don't know, maybe it's just because I just started playing it, is like, man, the goals, like the time goal and getting all the balloons, like, geez, that's difficult. I don't think I've completed one like perfectly, and I know this is meant for replay, and I know it's to keep going in and searching, but I just see it almost impossible to complete one level like 100%. You know what I mean? I think you have to come back and do only the balloons. Come back and only do the time trial. And all that stuff. But
did you find as well, like I know, like on one of the missions, I was like 7 minutes, and I did it in 20 minutes. I'm going, oh my god, I felt awful.
That's why I was like, seriously, like, am I just supposed to run and not care about balloons?
This reminds me of Skylanders, and that's the one thing I liked about Skylanders was I would go back to levels just to try to get all those things checked off, and I think that's partially I'm very anal retentive, and I have my checklists. So for me, I'm going to be going back all the time. Like, I need to get this level done, and like I'm 1 second off or something.
I guess my only concern is that I'm hoping over time, like, the levels do change significantly, because I don't want to keep going through, you know, flip-flops and 8 balls and cards, like, all through all the levels. I hope it changes. I hope we explore different parts of the brain, because if it's all the same, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to get sick of collecting balloons and jumping over the same obstacles. But I don't know, it's too early for me to say. I can't give it a fair, like, I like it or dislike it type of rating, because I haven't played the whole game. But as far as what Travis was saying, there is a lot of replay to collect and stuff. But that's another reason why I like Twilight, too, because you have that ability as well. They give you these side missions to replay, and you have to do it at a certain character and under a certain time. So anyways, I don't know. Inside Out's cool. It's fun. I do like that all the characters have their own attribute. But it has to grow on me, so we'll see what happens.
See, I spent about 4 hours playing through it on Saturday night, because there's just been so much. Because I really wanted to kind of get a good kind of run at it. And do you know, it actually kind of reminded me of like the games of what I used to play when I was a kid, like in the 80s and the 90s, the side-scrolling stuff and the platforming elements. And I was really enjoying it because, and I'm going to be honest, if you took that game out, popped it out as a single separate release without the figures, it would just be you wouldn't even know it was Disney Infinity. That's what is really kind of caught my attention. It looks unlike anything we've got or seen before. It plays differently. You've got the side scrolling, we've got this platform. It doesn't feel like Disney Infinity, and that's not a bad thing because they've really wanted to make it feel very different. The characters, you know, when you put Fear down, he's so fast when he's running. It kind of reminded me of Mario or Sonic when you're doing the 2D scroller. Because once you put Anger down on anyone, they feel quite slow. But Fear, you know, I felt like I was back in the 80s playing my side-scrolling games, and I love them. You know, I absolutely love those games. I was really it kind of caught my attention of like how much different it felt. And then they had these, to get unlock more memories to do more levels, you've then got to play like basically like a mobile game where you've got to match up 4 colors or 3 colors to get. And I'm like going, this just does it. Just like I said, it just didn't feel like Disney Infinity. There wasn't a main story. You have to do stuff. It's quite different.
I was gonna say I did like that aspect of it. Like, you collect a certain amount of collectibles, and then you earn a play on that memory thing. And when you play on that memory thing, it unlocks more levels. So that was a cool little change to the way the game plays. So that was kind of cool.
I'm going to put out a very quick thing of I'm playing currently now on the digital version, and it's been on this and a couple of the other play sets. I've noticed sometimes the sound effects drop off, so I've had to like reboot and they will work again. So I don't know if it's specifically due to the digital, because I didn't notice it when I was playing on the disc version as well.
The only glitch that I've had was actually the exact same thing. I was in the hub, and during the change of a character, the sound effects dropped off, and it would come back in and out. And it did cause my farming to glitch, which was whenever you collected a crop, it would not drop the actual food for your sidekick. So I ended up rebooting the system. Or rebooting the game per se, and it was all back to normal. But that's the only glitch I've noticed, which is again the same thing, the sound dropping off a little bit. So.
There has been another glitch with after you've been into the arcade and you seem to go back into your toy box, it carries on and just starts random people just start dropping into your toy box. I know I was talking on Twitter like to Lloyd from DITV and Laura Mighty Jitis. And it looks like it might be a kind of a glitch that's coming in, because suddenly you're in your toy. I was there playing. I was just playing around with some of the new toys like the spline tool and stuff, and suddenly Olaf kept running and hit me. I'm like, well, where the hell did he come from? And thinking, is this a new part of the game? And then I'm like, no, that's a person. And then somebody else dropped into my toy box. I'm like, hold on, I can't. I'm not gonna be able to build with people coming in and whacking me with lightsabers and carrots.
Yeah, I actually tried to join an arcade game, and I ended up thinking, I'm joining this game about being infected about something. I don't remember exactly the description. All of a sudden, I'm in this interior with a couple other people, and I'm beating the crap out of. We're all beating the crap out of each other, but I'm like, none of us are getting infected, and all of a sudden I drop out, and they say connection's lost. So I'm assuming I dropped into someone's interior.
Well, I
started beating the crap out of them, and then they booted me.
Yeah, no, I had the exact same thing. I went into a game and landed in an interior, and there was about 4 of us just running around somebody's interior. So maybe the arcade is kind of having some slight issues.
So is this kind of like what the iPad version would do? You would have a random person in your box. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, yeah, I haven't. The only time I tried the arcade, nobody would join. So I think I tried that too. I was playing it too earlier. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I think because obviously from Friday onwards, like the Europeans, we all had it, so there was a little bit more around. But yeah, so those are the two glitches. There've been some audio on the playsets and the thing. So to be honest, the amount of stuff in this game, it doesn't really surprise me that there's been one little thing kind of clicking in, and I don't know whether or not with like arcade, whether or not it was really fully be able to be tested until it was live.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. No. But anyway, back on the Inside Out. I was just trying to think. There is one thing I want to just quickly note to anyone thinking of buying it. They have these like changeover sections that you get to a certain point and you press a button and you can change to any of the emotions. And it's not just a costume change. You literally just become that character for like 30 seconds. And I instantly actually thought, well, if you're on a budget, I wouldn't bother buying Disgust, Fear, or Sadness. Though I do love the Fear carries you so fast. You're not going to need them to get through those and find all those extra things. So that was something that felt very different. I think that changeover thing really sort of changed the aspect. I did kind of feel like it took away from the need of having those figures. I don't know what you guys thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought that feature was cool, but I mean, and I also see that I don't think it was more so per se for the people who were on a budget, although I could see how that can be. I honestly think this was done purposely for time trials. And the reason why I say that is there's certain sections in each level where you have to go under a certain amount of time in order to get that I guess feat, if you want to call it a feat, under the time, and it takes time for you to grab a figure, grab the other one, put it on there, and let it load. So if you have the ability to change really fast, it's not going to affect your time as much. So that's one of the reasons why I noticed that was in the game. But like you said, as far as if you are on a budget, yeah, that's great. But I do want to say that Disgust is a pretty cool looking figure. So I think you would probably buy her.
Yeah.
Also, Disney Infinity does say that with each playset, the 2 characters that come with it, or the 3 in 2.0's case, that they can get through the entire game without you having to buy other figures. Now, since they put those aspects where you had to use a certain figure at a certain point to get through the game, they had to create something where those 2 characters, Joy and Anger, can get through the game without you having to buy extra figures. So
yeah, that's cool. But I must admit, I think in general, Inside Out is a very different play set. Feels very different, and I'm loving the fact that sort of Pixar have kind of got their representation in this game. It feels new, it feels fresh, because Inside Out still feels, still a pretty new movie and stuff. But we will go through this in a lot more depth in a couple of weeks' time, because we're going to go through all of the play sets. Yes.
I hope to have it by then.
But also, I'm going to be honest. I think there's so much at launch that sometimes it's quite hard to kind of work out how you're going to spend your time, especially in those first few days. Because I just kept thinking, right, I've got the podcast coming up on Monday, and I thought, right, I've got 4 nights. I had 4 nights. I'm like, right, 1 playset a night, literally just to kind of get a few hours in, just to kind of get used to it and kind of really get my idea of the whole process. And as we go on to this next one for the Rise, I think actually it's one of the things. I really think it would have been a good idea had Rise come out at the end of the month and not been a PlayStation exclusive, because there was so much at launch. But let's delve into the Rise of the Republic now.
Yeah, I'm going to sit